Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blows. Good afternoon. It's the same day of the cleanup of the snowstorm. Later on in the afternoon, my neighbor from across the block, the next block over, Scott, he has a Yardmachines 826 dual stage snowblower. I've worked on that snowblower a couple of times so far. And today he drove by and he told me how great it ran and everything. But then later on, the transmission shifter rod fell off. And I says, oh, you usually just stick a cotter pin through the hole with a washer and it holds it onto the latch that shifts the transmission. He showed me a picture of it and it didn't seem like there was any hole. So I looked it up on the parts diagram. And it shows a hole in there with a cotter pin with a washer. But then he showed me the picture and there wasn't any hole. So it was really bothering me, you know. And right now he can't use it because the rod would just come right out without being adhered onto the lever. So I'm over here at his house now and we're going to get to the bottom of it. I'm over here at his garage. I don't even know if he knows I'm here. But anyway, this is it. It's a decent snowblower. It's a Yardmachines. It's 8 horsepower Tecumseh engine. Oh, I'm sorry. It's an 824. It's a good machine. I changed the carburetor on this. Did a carburetor clean one time. And he says it runs great. So here's the transmission shifting rod. And as we can see here, it doesn't appear to be any hole. And it goes right in here. But it has to stay in there somehow. And how does it stay in there, you know? Without it just coming right off again. It's got to be a hole. Let me look at it. Looking at it more closely, it does appear that there is no hole. But maybe there was one of those one-way caps that you put on there that you can't take back off again. You know, one of those reverse things. You know what I'm talking about. Like those permanent things. You put the cap on, it's metal. Once it goes in, you can't get it off again. Well, it looks like there's a scuff there that looks like it did pop off. And but you know what? I'm going to drill a hole in there because that's what it's supposed to be. And put a cotter pin through it. So, I guess I'm just going to try to drill a hole through here. Without a clamp or nothing. I'm just going to hold it here and try.
Henry, that's not going to work.
We'll see. Actually, I think this drill bit is too big. And that will...
I wasn't delusional, though.
No, you're not. Yeah, it's going to be tough to get a hole through there without a smaller bit. Yep, I'm going to have to go to super small and then go bigger. And then go big!
It doesn't make any sense that there's no hole for a cotter pin.
You know what I figured out? I think that there's one of those metal caps that it has like these two parts in there that's metal shears, you know, that goes like that.
That
and
kind of bites in.
Exactly. Once you put the cap on, you can't get it back off again, but this time it came off. But by the book, on the parts diagram, it's supposed to be a hole with a pin. You know what I mean?
Well, I saw the page that you...
Exactly, and that's exactly the one for this. So, you know, it's weird. But it'll be difficult for me to drill this just floating out in the air like this.
Absolutely. You need me to hold it?
No, no, no. Unless you want a hole through your finger.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah. I should be able to figure this out somehow. So I removed the rod from the assembly. It was very easy to take off, right? So now at least I have some kind of leverage to hold it to drill a hole. So look at that, look at that. I drilled a small hole first, And then I got a bigger bit and I drilled a bigger hole. So now that hole should work. Let's see. I'll just twist this toward there. And you can just get through here. Hey, how come it's not going in? How come it's not going in the hole? That's what she said. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I got to put this thing through there. So I've got that part of the rod connected to the main one. Now you stick that thing through, and luckily I did bring a couple of washers in my pocket over here. And so I've got a bunch of this stuff. This looks too big. That looks too big. This would probably work. You know what? I'm just going to stick this one on there. This one would work. And then I have an R clip, which I think should be there instead of a cotter. This one here, but that looks kind of thick. I don't think that'll fit. I don't think it just needs to hold it there. You know what I mean? I think this cotter pin will work, but that looks too big. Yeah. See, my eyeglass guy told me that I need progressives, and I told him that I didn't like the progressives he gave me, and I wore those glasses for like a year, and I have since gone out of the progressives. I am wearing regular ones. As a result, I can't see shit until I take off my glasses see, I can't even see. So the hole I drilled, I wanted to be safe, so I drilled the hole in the center of the bolt. Because if you go too close to the end, you risk the sturdiness of the bolt. You know what I mean? But because the hole is so big, if you put the washer there, you won't see the bolt. So I'm just going to stick this cotter pin through the hole that I just drilled, and it'll be just fine because there's no pressure or tension on this except for up and down, not in and out. Following? So this will just do the trick. It just needs to hold the rod in place is all. That's all it does, which is the reason why it's designed to just have a cotter pin. A cotter pin's not strong at all, but all it needs to do is prevent this from popping out. You know what I mean? So it's very easy. And I'm glad that Scott had this issue because, you know, this thing happens. Things like this happen, and you want to know how to, you know, rectify it. While we didn't have a metal cap, which is obviously for the 824 model. The parts diagram that I had was for the 826. I thought it was 26, but it's 24. So had I looked up the parts diagram for an 824, it probably would have shown that it's a metal cap as opposed to the 826 model where there's actually a hole in this rod that connects to this, that connects to that. Now, I was just talking to Scott, why did they not just make one solid rod that connects to this? What is the purpose behind this? I mean, this was easy enough to remove. However, what's the reason for having two rods connected instead of just one solid rod? You know what I mean? You think about these things, you know? Anyway, I wanted to come over and just fix it for him because it bothered me, you know? Can you imagine how much it bothers me if this was mine? So that ought to do it. Right, Scott?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely.
So you said before that you had an issue where if it stayed there, it wasn't going into reverse, you said?
Well, it was shifting unpredictably, and I couldn't shift deliberately.
I see.
So all of a sudden it was in reverse, and I couldn't get it out of reverse.
So looking at the repair now, what do you think?
It looks like it's now responsive to what the indicator tells it to be.
Cool.
Reverse is reverse, and forward is forward.
Cool. All right. Lickety split, man. I mean, that took aside from drilling a hole, it took like 5-10 minutes. You know what I mean? So,
Mowers and blowers to the rescue.
for all you people out there who are afraid to do things on your own, to try to fix things, if you had gone through the trouble of taking this, having it transported to a small engine place, they would probably charge you $50 for doing that labor, not to mention the trouble of you going back and forth, taking it into your truck, whatever, and all that. Just use your brain, man. Fix it yourself. DIY. Thanks a lot for joining me on today's brief episode. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to give me a like. Also, comment below. Subscribe. Remember, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's free, right? Also, hit that little bell. That way you'll get post notifications whenever there's a new video and you won't miss out on any of them. Remember to follow my Instagram and Facebook, as well as if you'd like to donate $1 or $2, paypal.me/mowersandblowers. Really appreciate all the support. Also, to keep the videos coming every day, support the channel. Bye.